Gosh, Pulse is just such a fascinating adrenaline rush through and through. How was Nia originally described to you?
Okay, so I had first auditioned for the role of Camila and then auditioned for the role of Cass. And then when I got the offer for Nia, she was described as a scrappy paramedic, no holds barred, tells it like it is, and that she will be in a love triangle with Tom and Cass. So, but I said yes before I even heard anything about Nia because I just wanted to be a part of the project. I would have said yes to being like a little background actor. But it was refreshing because the way she speaks is kind of just the way that I speak. There was one scene where Zoe came up to us while we were shooting, Zoe Robin, our showrunner, and she was like, "Is this too much?" And I was like, "Oh no, this is how I talk to men. This is perfect. So this is great." And she was like, "Oh, okay, great. Keep going then." I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, I love Nia. Nia's basically an extension of me.
This is such a powerhouse role for you. I have to ask about working with Jack Bannon because the two of you work quite closely in this love triangle between him and Cass.
Yes, I met Jack once I got to set, and he just has one of those faces. And his eyes are so big and they like pull you in. And then he's so kind and warm and he just makes it so easy. So nothing between us was ever forced. He's very giving during every scene. Even if he's not on camera, he's like giving you everything and like never looks away. And you're just like, so working with Jack was the easiest and best part of filming this show, hands down.
What kind of medical training did they put you through? Did they do little EMT boot camp kind of for you?
I had that EMT boot camp. The hardest part about the boot camp was working the stretchers. I had no idea. I thought like looking at a stretcher, you just push the thing. No, it is so intricate. It's got all these wheels, so it can go any which way, whenever. Turning a corner, there's like a protocol. And then handling it. Like I pinched my finger so many times. There was one time I jammed my finger so hard because as you're shooting, you like need to be quick. So everything needs to be like very fluid, and then you're like having to like deliver your lines too. And like there was one time I was like saying the line and then I like pushed the thing and my finger just gets jammed and I'm like, so completely underestimated how difficult it is to be an EMT. Turns out people go to school for this. It is a difficult thing. So yeah, thank you for the boot camp. But I was grateful that like, as we got further into the season, there wasn't as much of the paramedic stuff and more of like the, like personal character stuff because the paramedic stuff is not for the weak.
And I thought that you guys would be like worried about the medical jargon. It turns out the stretchers are the
The
hardest part.
stretcher, and the lifting of the actors, like take after
Oh, you
take, where it's like, oh, so
gotta
yeah.
have some biceps for that. You
Yeah,
you came prepared.
we came ready.
I'm curious, is there a scene or a moment in the filming where you're most proud of the work you put into?
Oh, I love that question. I really love episode 2. Um, right before I go into surgery when Jack comes to talk to me. And for Nia, because we had only seen this one side of her, she's like unafraid, she's tough. It's when we finally got to see her vulnerability. And I just remember like laying in the bed and, we were doing take after take and I felt so connected to her. And then our director, Kate, came up to me afterwards and she just was so complimentary of my work. And it was one of those moments where I'm like, oh, that compliment, the compliment that she gave me will stay with me for the rest of my life. It was so sweet. So yeah, that I think was like the moment where I was like, oh my God, like we're really doing it. We're really doing it.
How did you all shake off a long day of being on set? Your adrenaline is clearly pumping at
Yeah.
100, if not 110 during this film, during filming, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, every scene there's like high stakes and there's a lot going on. There's so many moving parts. I underestimated how intricate making a medical drama is there's so many props involved. Because the hospital has to feel real, and even like just my paramedic outfit, like there was like 10 props on the outfit, and I'm like, wow, there's just so many moving parts. So it really makes you have a lot more respect for when shows of this caliber are being made.
It's the hardest part is maybe shaking off those emotions too, as well. Not just, bringing these people into the cargo bay and, to the emergency room and diagnosing them and, bringing them onto this off the gurney onto the hospital bed. It's also, these people are injured and you're dealing also with a love triangle and also like as an actor, you're remembering your lines on top of the medical jargon. It's all just so much going on for you.
Yes, there's so much. We thankfully had such a great team around us. Our producers are incredible. And I think because our set it really is the kindest and warmest set I've ever been on. I hope that I get to do this job for the next few years to come because it's just my favorite job so far. And I think when that's the energy that everybody gets to approach their workday with, then it makes everything a lot easier. It really starts from the top down. And they really just set this tone of like, it's so respectful. Everyone is so kind to each other. It's so warm. We literally like greet each other every morning with hugs and like, how are you? And so, as difficult as things were, or, as complicated as they would get, because of that, it made it a lot easier.
Well, you got this premiere coming up tomorrow. How do you plan to celebrate?
I am going to be with my kids. They have spring break from school. So we're driving down. We have a vacation home in southern Utah, and we're just going to go and I'm just going to be with my kids by the pool, sneak a little glass of champagne. Um,
Served.
yeah. The best part about all of this is like having kids grounds you so much because they're like, oh, like they don't care about anything. They're like, okay, cool. Come swim with us. Are you getting in the pool? And I'm like,
Mommy has a big Netflix premiere tomorrow.
yeah, they
That's
could
cool,
care less.
great. I'd like a peanut butter and
I
jelly.
know. They're like, so can I have the sour Skittles or not? And I'm like, oh, nobody
Okay.
cares. So yeah, it's really grounding. It's very humbling. So that's where I'll be.
What are the other projects you have coming up here soon, Ash?
I have a film that I start working on in June that I can't yet say, but it is something that I manifested for so long. It's a role that I had written down that I had wanted for myself, this type of woman to portray. She's tough. She is a leader. She has to make really difficult decisions, and I mean, when I read the script, I just was sobbing, crying. And so I am really, really excited to start shooting this. We shoot in LA starting in June. And the release should come out in the next month or so, announcing the project. But yeah, I'm really excited that I get to work on that next.
All right, dreams are coming true for you. Getting
Yeah.
chills.
And hopefully if Pulse gets watched enough, then we'll be working on season
Me
two
too.
soon. So
Yeah, that's right. So you'll be back to back June, and then you'll have this project of full season two. I cannot wait. What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible work you continue to do on our screens? We're loving you and Mayor of Kingstown, and here you are in Pulso. You have so much beautiful work on our screens.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just been, this industry is difficult, but these wins have made it so worth it. And I feel so lucky, like that I get to do what I love. And
American Horror Story. These are iconic series you're a part of.
thank you. So I feel really lucky. The 9-year-old version of me would look at me today and just be like, that's what we did with our life. That's crazy. And it still feels like I'm just getting started. Like that's the most exciting part is I'm like, okay, it's been so great, but I still am just like at the beginning. So yeah, I would just say like hang on and keep watching because we're just getting started.